Professor Omar Hujran from United Arab Emirates University. So I'm presenting my topic today, which is about why would citizen continue using chatbot services. So the agenda is background, then research model, hypothesis, and then the conclusion. I think most of us, we have used chatbot services provided by government or provided by telecom companies or provided by e-commerce websites. With the advancement of these technologies like AI, machine learning, natural language processing, and human-computer interaction, there were like a significant improvement of using conversational tools to help businesses to communicate with their customers. So many applications, including areas, including healthcare, business, education, e-commerce, banking, you will find such services. And recently also government organizations, they introduced this technology to facilitate the interaction with the public. There was like a survey recently. They surveyed over 5,000 businesses from 6 countries, and they found like 67% of these companies, they utilize chatbot services for customer service. So both public and private organizations, they are utilizing chatbot services. But I'm not sure if how many of you have used the chatbot service and then they stopped using it. Because sometimes the chatbots could not understand your query, or these chatbot services, they provide inaccurate answers, or they try keeping you in a loop. Could you say again or something? This kind of problems are still exist with chatbot services. So this is a research gap or a problem, and there is a research gap where if you review the literature, especially in the public sector, because here my focus on the public sector, private sector is leading always the technology and technology usage, while the public sector usually follow the private sector. So for example, in UAE, even myself, I tried, some kind of chatbot services, then I'll, try to contact human instead of continue using this chatbot service. So this is a problem, and there is a little of research, especially in developing countries, and to understand how to boost or how to increase the usage of these services. Why? Because the government, they invest a lot in these technologies. Without people using it, then what's the value? So you are wasting your money, you are wasting your time, and you need to minimize the human or personnel employees. So that's why we need to increase the usage of these chatbot services. So this study is, this conference paper is, a subset of a big project. So to be honest, I continue this project, but I presented only the model here. But I submitted the full paper to top 1% journal. It's now a second round review. So we received the revision, and it was like major revision at the very beginning. We addressed the comments, and we are waiting for the final decision now. Just the objective of this conference paper is to develop a model, and this model will integrate some variables that might contribute to increasing or continuous usage of such a service. We mean by continuous usage is using the service not for one time. You are using the service for more than one time. So you have used it, and then you are satisfied with this, and you continue using this service. So basically, this model, and this is again, this is subset of the big model that we send it to the journal paper. So we used a theory called ECM, expectation confirmation theory. And this theory is mainly used to understand the continuous usage of a technology or a service. So it has been widely used in different contexts, including education and telecom, banking, e-commerce, and many others, including also public organization. So this theory proven to be a robust theory to understand how construct like satisfaction and confirmation and perceived ease of use will contribute or predict the continuous usage. So it's a very simple theory. If a customer or a user satisfied with the technology, then he or she will continue using it. If another construct, which is a perceived usefulness, if I perceive the technology is useful, add value to me, address my requirement, then I will continue using it. The opposite, if it's not useful, then why should I use it? If I'm not satisfied with this technology, why should I use it? And another construct, which is confirmation. Confirmation is another construct in this ECM theory, which means that everyone has expectations. So if I'm using chatbot service, I'm expecting something to deliver from this service or from this technology. If this expectation met and confirmed, this is a confirmation, then this will increase my satisfaction and also increase the perceived usefulness of this technology. This is the model here on the right side. While the other constructs, we added these constructs among other, but in this conference paper, I included only these two constructs. The first one is chatbot service equality, the quality of the service delivered by the chatbot service. So this construct is measured by 3 sub-dimensions. First one is reliability. How reliable this technology, the performance. For example, if I submit my query, does it retrieve the answer within second, millisecond, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? So the performance, reliable, is the service always working without any interruptions? And also assurance. This assurance conveys the trust, the trust of this service. Does it, for example, collect private personal data about us or something like this? Because now social media, some people, they don't use social media just because it's collect a lot of private information about us. And responsiveness. Is it real time, or is it, deliver the query or whatever my query about within a certain time that satisfy me? If we have all these in high, then this will increase the satisfaction, my satisfaction, which will in turn will increase the continuous usage. Another construct which is related to human-computer interaction, which is the anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism means that human-like attributes of non-human object, because chatbot service is non-human. Does it act as a human? For example, the language that we receive, similar to our natural language. So we found when we empirically tested this model, we found that the more the chatbot service use language that, similar to our cultural or language verbs that we use, the more the people will be satisfied. If it's used like formal language, maybe some people will not like the chatbot service. Another thing, and in UAE, they utilize some of these attributes. For example, they name the chatbot service in the public sector Rashid. Rashid, for example, is very well-known name in UAE. So they use similar name to human, just to make it. And even if you see Rashid, if you search about Rashid here, you will see it like a Gulf man, wearing this traditional traditional clothes, because people will feel that I'm talking to a human, I'm not talking to a machine. The more you feel that you are talking to, although it's a machine, the more you feel that it's human-like attributes, even the name, even the language that they use when they interact with people. Other things. Is there any emotional, for example, or welcoming message, for example, at the very beginning? That's very important. So welcoming message using the same, for example, UAE is a Muslim country. So if they use, for example, Assalamu alaikum, this means that, okay, these are closer to this culture. So they avoid using, for example, some verbs or some language that is not commonly used. So the more the chatbot is a human-like, the more the people will be satisfied, and the more this technology will be continually used. We used another two factors, but that's for the journal paper. Trust. We added a trust, which is very also important factor. So the more the chatbot service is trustworthy, meaning that again, it will not collect private information. I rely on it. When I need it, I rely on it. So sometimes you use the chatbot service, but it takes you 30, 40 minutes just to make it understand your query. So in this case, this will, my level of trust will be decreased. So another factor that we use, the conversation and quality itself. So here I'm talking about the service quality, which is different than the quality of the conversation itself. The conversation quality is a new dimension that we added, which means that, again, how close the language that had been used by the chatbot to our language, to our culture, to our context. So that's the model, and that's the hypothesis we have here, seven hypotheses, and hypotheses are three sub hypotheses. We tested the model using survey, so we collected data. We reported the data in the journal paper. We found that satisfaction, confirmation, perceived usefulness and anthropomorphism are really predictors of continuous usage intention. We did not find support for the trust, and we explained this by cultural issue. So, for example, in the Arab world, if you are my close friend, then I disclose all of my personal information to you. So that's why we don't care a lot about privacy. So maybe this is some explain why trust is not is a weak contributor to continuous usage. So they don't care. So this is something contradict the literature, but it is real. It's dependent on the context. So it depends on the country that you are implementing this chatbot service. So in some countries, maybe collecting data is not that much important than usage of this system. So I need to use it regardless. Even social media, we know all of us. We know that TikTok, WhatsApp, they collect data about us, but we are using it. Why? Because the value thing that we value the technology and the benefits that we are using compared to the risk that we might face. So that's the model, and that's the study. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much for your great presentation. You have any questions, Professor?
Thank you for the presentation, Professor. You need to So you need to mute your system. So basically, how about the convenience captured for the chatbot utilized in your environment? So convenience of the users.
Yeah. What do you mean by convenience?
Um,
By of the users?
See, you are compared with the social media content.
Mhm.
So we use WhatsApp and Facebook and other things, Instagram. So many things we are using. So why we are using it? Based on the convenience it is giving us. So we transfer messages very quickly and we store things. So how do you measure the convenience for a chatbot in this environment?
Yeah, and to be honest, we did not, convenience, we did not, sorry, mute it. Okay. Instead of measuring the convenience, we measure the perceived usefulness. So it might be embedded within the perceived usefulness. So if it's convenient, then it's useful. Okay, so that's why we use perceived usefulness instead of convenience. We cannot use all the constructs that we believe that they are important, because otherwise we will have a very lengthy course. Some people, they will say, okay, risk, privacy, all these constructs should be added. But we have a very a theory, or not a theory, in a quantitative research, or developing a model, we should also stick to a principle called parsimony. Parsimony means that sometimes you add so many variables, but the variance, or the R square, will be, will not add any, it will not decrease the R square. So adding more variables will make it very complex model, complex in analysis, and also your survey questions. Because, if you give me a questionnaire with 100 items, if I want to add convenience, then I need to add at least like 5, 6, 7 items and many other variables. So we did not include convenience, but we believe that convenience is embedded within the perceived usefulness somehow.
Thank you very much, Professor.